everybody, it's Nazara from Nazara's Fine Crafts, and today we're going to do a absolute beginner's crochet video. This was requested by my sister-in-law who lives, I think it's 5 states away from me. So I hope you like it. If you do want to continue to watch videos like this, go ahead and give me a thumbs up down below, as well as subscribe to my channel so that we can continue to do videos like this and continue to help you on your crochet adventure. So in this video, I have down below in the description area different time markers to different things that you might want to use if you want to skip straight to like your hook hand, your tension hand, and everything like that, then you can do that. Just go down to the time marker and it tells you about where to look. Or you can just watch the whole video through. There's tips and tricks throughout the video. But I'm going to go ahead and show you just how to crochet in general first. For those of you that already have, that already know how to crochet, you're just getting kind of a refresher course. So, and I show you how to tie on later in more detail, how to tie onto your hook. But crocheting, what you do is you have your hook, you're going in front and below around to the back of your yarn. You're hooking the yarn to, you're hooking it with the hook, and then you're pulling it through the loop. I say later on in this video that crocheting is just a bunch of loops tied to each other basically. So you hook it, you pull it through. And this is your beginner chain. So you go in front, under, back behind it, hook it with your hook and pull it through your loop. So this is just how to do your starter chain. My husband, his grandmother was teaching him how to crochet back when he was really young. So my husband actually has like this chain, like this 50-foot long chain of yarn. He still has it. I have it in my buffet drawer over the in the dining room because I didn't know where else to put it. But yeah, we're just learning how to chain today. We're just learning how to hold our hands and how to chain. So just keep watching this video through, like it, subscribe to my channel, and we'll go on to the next of how to do double crochets, single crochets, and all these different types of stitches that you can do with crocheting. So right here I have basics of what you would need for any crochet project. First, you would need a skein of yarn, of course. I am using for this demonstration Red Heart Super Saver. It's inexpensive, as well as it's pretty easy to work with. So you can use any yarn, but just this, like I said, this one's inexpensive. And if you don't catch on to crocheting, or you just really don't like it, which hopefully that's not the case, then at least you didn't spend a whole lot of money on it, and you can actually use these for many other projects around the house. For this project you won't need these, but later on you probably will. They're stitch markers. You can use pretty much anything as a stitch marker as long as it will hold the yarn. There's just 3 different examples of a stitch marker, which I'm going to move off there. You'll need a yarn needle or embroidery needle. You want something with a large eye hook because you are using yarn, not thread. So that's something you will not have to use this one, but you will want later on. The scissors you won't have to use right away. It's usually towards the end of your project. So we're going to move that off. And then you need your crochet hook. Right here I have 2 different types of hooks. There are many types of hooks out there, but if you look at this one's large curved. It has no sharp edges, but it's also not the size of the handle of your hook. And this is all personal preference right here. This one is kind of a sharper edge. It's more of a straight stick. I don't personally like these kind of hooks. This is a Susan Bates hook. The other one is a boy. And these are the ones that I like because I don't like the sharp edges. Sometimes they catch the yarn and split the yarn. But it's all personal preference. I also don't personally like the ones with the, what is that, ergonomical handles or ergonomic, the ones that have the comfort handles. Because some of my yarn will come down to here and the handles go up to here, so it makes it difficult for me personally to get like a shell stitch or a bunch on there. So, but that's, once again, that's personal preference. Some people like them because they save their wrists as far as joint pain. So getting to the yarn, this is Red Heart Super Saver. If you look at the label here, they usually give you a pattern, so we're going to ignore that for right now. It tells you right here you have 7 ounces or 198 grams, 364 yards in this skein or 330 meters. You turn it and there's the color, and then you come to this part right here. This part's important. So this is a medium 4-weight yarn. So this will tell you the weight of the yarn right there. The lower the number goes, the thinner the gauge of the yarn. The higher the number goes, the thicker it is. This tells you what color, or so it says 10 by 10 centimeter, 12 single crochets, 4 by 4 inches, 15 rows. That's if you were working a swatch. And it tells you which hook to use, which would be a 5.5 millimeter or I9 hook, which is this. I don't know if you can see this, but it says I9 or 5.5 millimeter. I'm wondering how well you can see that. Let's see if I can get it closer. You see how it says I9, 5.5 millimeter? So that will tell you exactly what size hook would be ideal for this kind of yarn. You don't have to use that hook. You can, like the pattern says, use a J10 or 6 millimeter. But this will tell you to get that swatch, that's what size hook you need. It also tells you in knitting needles what you would use. It tells you that it is machine washable, it is machine dryable, do not iron, and do not bleach. It tells you 100% acrylic. So on here it shows you the 2 different ways that you can pull the yarn out. Now I've already pulled the yarn out of the center of this one. It just and then had to wrap it around because of the access, because I was working on something else with this one. I don't remember, but didn't like it. So either you can pull the yarn off the side and let it roll around. You want something to kind of contain this if you do it that way. Either that, or you can reach down into the middle and pull out the strand of yarn. If you end up pulling out a bunch, it's okay, just wrap it around the end and it will get to the middle soon enough. But let's see if I can show you. See, when it's pulling out of the middle, it just comes out nice and neat. Doesn't really move the skein a whole lot. It will right now because it's tight, but you can also use a yarn bowl to stabilize it. It works better for balls or cakes, but this will work too because it won't move. It's pretty sturdy, pretty heavy. So I will have that off to the side. So this, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, you have your strong hand. Your strong hand. Take my strong hand. Sorry. You have your dominant hand holding the hook and your less dominant hand holding the yarn. There are multiple ways of holding the yarn for your comfort. This is going to be one of your trickiest parts of learning to crochet. Most people, it takes a while. So the way I like to do it is I grab it with these 3 fingers, put it over my pointer finger, and then I can grab the tail with my middle finger and my thumb. Trying to show you. And then my pinky finger can be my control as far as tension, as well as my pointer finger. So if you watch, oh, hold on, my son is calling me. Hold on. All right, I'm back. So my pinky finger is my control finger. These 2 are just holding on, and my pointer finger is my control finger. And then I use these for my restraint or my resistance on this side. So if you can see, if I hold on tight with my pinky, my yarn is not coming in. It's getting really tight. Alright, so you don't want to hold really tight with that control finger. You want to just hold it enough, unless, and this is later on, unless you really need to clamp down on it. You just need to hold it a little bit so that there's a little bit of a pull. See how my yarn is straight? If you don't, if you just do it like this, if you do it all loose, let's see if I can do that, so I untrain myself. If you do it all loose, then you see how your loops are going to be all funky and different weight. So you want to keep the same tension on your yarn at all times. Another way to hold it is some people wrap it around their pinky and then bring it over. And that way they don't have to hold it with their pinky, and it still gives you enough tension. Now this way is a good way. It just, I don't believe that it gives you enough tension to be consistent in your stitches. And that's what your goal is to be consistent in your chain. So, but whatever is more comfortable. I've seen people where they, how did I have that? Where they hold it. I've seen people where they hold it like this and then have it between these 2 fingers like this. So, I mean, whatever's more comfortable for you. Your hands will be tired for the first month or 2 that you're crocheting. So you want to do this regularly to build up the strength in your hands and the muscles that you aren't used to using like that. So there's different ways to hold your hook as well. I have the knife hook, or I have a knife hold. So it looks like you're cutting your meat with your knife or cutting something with your knife. And what I do is I go over the front, pull it through, go over the front. My grandmother says that it looks like I'm digging potatoes when I crochet, because it's just, you see how something important, and this is later on, and I will point it out again. You see how my wrist is turning, and I am not death gripping my hook. Let it gently glide and turn and pull, turn and pull, turn and pull. So the ones that have trouble are the ones that sit there and they don't want to turn their hook. They want to do this and then pull it through. Do this. That's almost knitting. So you want your hook to do as much work as you can for you. And it's not a harsh motion. It's just a gentle glide. So another hold that you can do, and I'm going to see if I can do this. It's not my natural. Some hold it like a pencil, and they just go and pull it through. Oh, what is going on? My knot must have tightened somehow. So it's the same concept. You're just holding it like a pencil. You're going under, you're hooking your yarn, you're pulling it through. Going under, hooking your yarn, pulling through. Going under, hooking your yarn, pulling it through. See with the knife stitch? Going under, hooking your yarn, pulling through. Going under, hooking your yarn, pulling through. So there's different ways to tie this on. So the way that I normally do it, I leave a little bit of a tail, not too long because it will get in your way. I put the yarn or put my hook under the yarn where the yarn goes over it. I turn my hook so that the yarn crisscrosses, and then with my hand I grab the place that it meets, the place that it crisscrosses, take my hook, go under the yarn, and then hook it into my hook. So you're doing like this loop right here. See how it's in the hook there? You point this part down, because if you look at this hole, it looks like a teardrop, right? You want this hook to match up like this in that teardrop form. So from the side right there. So under the yarn, hook it, turn your hook, and pull it through that teardrop. And then hold on to the tail here and kind of pull at it and tighten it. You want to tighten it at the largest point, or close to the largest point of your hook. Don't do it down here, because then you won't be able to get your hook through. You want to do it here or even here, and that way you can get your hook through there nice and easy. But yeah, I just right over the hook, tie it. There you go. You can even double knot it if you want it extra secure where you know it's not going to come off. The way crocheting, or the way crocheting works is you're just looping. It's loop, 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 and it attaches where it won't come loose. So I suggest for this is the beginning video, I suggest you figure out your hold. You figure with both hands which one you feel more comfortable with, and then you figure out your tension, and you just continue to do a chain, just a chain. The next video will show you how to work in this foundation chain, but grab your hook, go under, hook your yarn, pull it through the loop. Just work a chain. It's okay if it's loose, it's okay if it's uneven. You're practicing. That is what you need to do, is practice right now. Get yourself familiar with the different hooks and the different holds. See, there's this hook. This one, you don't have to worry about the teardrop as much. This one will go straight through any hole that will fit around this. So if that's what you like, then that's what you like. It's okay either way by me. So just work on a chain, get it so far, pull it back out, figure out how to tie it on again somewhere further up. So remember, put your hook under where the yarn's going over, cross it over right underneath, go under your yarn, hook it, pull it through the loop, and tighten. And you can double knot it if you want, but work on tying it on to your hook, and then work on your tension. Something that, let's start from here. So tie it back on. If you watch, you grab right underneath the knot with your, whatever you're holding it with, your middle and your thumb, if you're holding it like I am. You're going to do probably about 3 or 4 crochet, and then you're going to move your fingers up. 1, 2, 3, 4. You grab here with your hook hand so that you don't move, and you move your fingers up. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Grab, move up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab, move up. Because if you're trying to hold that tension, I'm switching to my other hook. Sorry, can't stand that one. If you're trying to hold the tension with your hook while you're moving up, everything gets really loose, and your loop could loosen. If you don't remember to tighten it back down, then you'll end up with a loop that big compared to the rest of your chain. So I like to grab it before I move my fingers up. Grab it, move up. And it honestly becomes such second nature after you get used to it that it's not that bad. Now, if you also, something that some people come into is they go and it accidentally slips off and they pull their hook through. As long as you don't pull on this, your loop is still there. You can insert your hook again and start exactly where you were. There's also cases where the yarn slips off and you're like, oop, and you hook your loop. As long as your loop is on that hook, your crochet can't go anywhere. So just hook it again, pull it through. Hook it again, pull it through. So, and then, yeah. So just start doing a chain. Try to get it as even as possible. And we'll see you at the next video to work on another round. For the next video, I'll remind you then, but if you want to begin with, let's see, let's do a scarf. So if you want to begin with a chain of 20, so you tie it on, leave your tail, because we're going to sew that in later. You're going to chain 20, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Let's actually do 25. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So that is a good foundation chain for a washcloth or even a long scarf. For the next video, we're going to teach you how to do, how we're going to work back into this chain, because crocheting works in kind of a zigzag or parallel rows and into each other to make a pattern. And we're probably going to do a double crochet instead of a single crochet. Single crochet doesn't build up as fast and it's a little bit harder to work with. If we were doing a washcloth, I would suggest a single crochet, but since I think we're going to go ahead and just do a scarf since it's winter, everybody can use a scarf. That's not down in Florida where it's 80 degrees, but but yeah. Yeah, we'll do the double crochet in the next video. If you have any questions, leave a comment below and I will address those in the next video. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you can find out when the next video about the crocheting is going to start. And we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.